A couple of weeks ago, I asked you guys for your worst school confessions, and to be honest, I was originally expecting stuff like I peed in the bathroom sink. However, after reading your actual confessions, I realized that some of you might secretly be mental asylum patients. My crush when I was around 10 had longish hair for a boy, so he used to always need a hairband, so I would always offer mine to him. Fast forward to when I got home, I would sniff the hairband, then wrap it around my tongue, imagining it was him. Bro, okay, okay, you wrapped his hair tie around your tongue. Like, what exactly were you imagining? Because a hairband has like a hole in it. You're putting your tongue in this. Like, did you not realize that your crush, he's a dude. He doesn't have a lasagna, if you know what I mean. Your crush most likely has a ding-a-ling, and so I don't think it's gonna be anything like a hole. But I mean, this is definitely not a comp. Sorry, no offense, but yeah, this is definitely slightly questionable. But imagine how it would taste, like the oil in like the hairband and everything. Once upon a time in school, one of my classmates brought their pet cat to school. This hadn't been the first time they brought their cat, but it had been the fourth time they brought it to school, and surprisingly, they hadn't been caught yet. My classmate hid their cat in the janitor's room and would come back during lunchtime. One day, something very, very unexpected happened. My classmate came to check on their cat as usual, but it was gone. They of course immediately panicked. I'm friends with them, and so I helped them look for their cat. While we were searching, we heard moaning and meowing sounds from the girls' bathroom. We were very suspicious, and so we decided to check. One of the stores was unlocked, and the moaning and meowing sounds were from that store. We took a peek and saw our freaking history teacher diddling my classmate's cat. Are you serious? Is that even possible? So it's in the girls' bathroom, so I assume your history teacher is a female, and she was diddling your classmate's cat. Was your cat a dude or a girl? Was your teacher trying to be the first ever person to give birth to a cat human hybrid? It's the fourth time they'd brought it to school. So bro, imagine this history teacher. I think she may have diddled your cat 4 times beforehand, but it's just that you only caught them this 4th time. That is extremely concerning. Like the fact that like she could have done this 4 times prior and you only just caught them. Like imagine if you didn't catch them. Imagine if your friend brought her cat to school like 10 times in the future, and then every single time your cat was getting diddled by the history teacher and you had no idea. This is very concerning. I think your history teacher needs help, and your cat needs even more help as well. I feel like your cat needs some therapy. Like your cat genuinely needs some therapy. When I was in the 8th grade, I had a crush on a girl, let's call her Jay, but I knew I had no chance since she already had a boyfriend that was a grade higher than us and much more athletic than me. Now, I should have known that was a sign to back off, but I didn't listen to those thoughts. I started getting more close to her, hanging out with her, and even with her boyfriend. But after half a month, I started noticing her boyfriend acting weird. He'd always refuse to talk to me, wouldn't even acknowledge my existence. It was low-key pissing me off because at first I thought he was just being rude until he sent me a text to meet me at the boys' bathroom. I really thought I was gonna get jumped. It was worse. When I got to the bathroom, he was nowhere to be seen. Now our school's boys' bathroom only has one stall for doing a poo, and so I thought he was there. I didn't want him to get the advantage of jumping me, so I climbed onto the wall and took a peep over the stall. I wish I never saw what I saw, but this dude was gooning to a picture of me. It really caught me off guard that I almost slipped my grip from the wall. After seeing that though, I just wanted to get out of the bathroom. I didn't even want to know what he would have done if he actually jumped me. I haven't reported it to any trusted adult because I'm scared of what he'd do if I did. If you can please give me advice on what to do because I'm scared to even go to school anymore. Bro, that is some wild curveball. So you started trying to riz this girl, but then her boyfriend starts falling for you? That is insane. That is actually insane. How do you have that much riz that you turn someone's boyfriend gay? Like he was legit gooning to a picture of you in the bathroom stall. So I guarantee he was going to jump you and potentially diddle you that day. I'm glad you got out in one piece. I'm glad you didn't get diddled. But honestly, my advice, I mean, bro, do you even go back to school at that point anymore? I feel like it might be a little bit too dangerous to go to school. Like honestly, like if you ever find yourself in a bathroom alone with that guy, like bro, it's GG. I think it might be GG. Say goodbye to your V card, honestly. So honestly, I'm gonna rank this as you need help. Like I think you need to actually tell a trusted adult and potentially switch schools. You need to get out of there for your own safety. When I was in high school, there was this really pretty girl in my class that I liked. She was usually alone and studying, and I, for some reason, found that very attractive. So one day I asked her to help me prepare for a maths test we were going to have, and she agreed. We went to the library, and she started teaching me some derivations and formulas, but about an hour into the study session, I randomly got bricked up. Anyways, I excused myself and went to the bathroom to check what was going on, and there was absolutely no reason for me to be bricked up, but I took care of it. Okay. While washing my hands in the sink, I saw some laxatives on the side of the sink, and surprisingly, there were a few tablets left. I thought it would be super erotic if I somehow made the girl who was helping me have some problems from the laxatives. So before I went back to the desk we were at, I bought some bottled juice for her from the vending machine and mixed the laxatives into that. When I gave her the drink, she didn't question why it was already open and just thanked me and drank the juice. About 15 minutes later, I hear some stomach gurgling sounds coming from her, and she's clenching her stomach. Then a wet sound comes out from her, and her face is pale and in confusion. She sprints to the bathroom, and when I have a look over at the spot where she was sitting, I see a streak of brown on the bench. Later that night, I may have gooned at the thought of that. Okay. What is wrong with you? That cannot be legal. You've just spiked her drink with laxatives. How do you think that is like kinky? That is just annoying. Like, she's gone out of her way to help you with a maths test and stuff. Like, she's putting her own time into that. She's like volunteering her own time, and you repay her by giving her laxatives and juice. You repay her by giving her stage 5 diarrhea. Like, she had such explosive diarrhea that she couldn't even keep it in her pants. She literally did it onto the actual seat she was sitting on. Like, you should have just bought her a drink and just gave her like the juice just to thank her for her time. But instead you spike her. That is like, what are you even doing at that point? I feel like the fact that she's willing to help you with like your math test and everything, like, I think she was into you. She was actually into you. You had it in the bag. You actually had it in the bag. All you had to do was buy her juice and just leave it. But now you've just ruined it. You've actually ruined all your chances at getting with this girl. And why are you gooning at the thought of that as well? Like, you're gooning at the thought of your crush having explosive diarrhea? That is disgusting. I think you need some help. You actually need some help. Like, why do you think of giving your crush laxatives? The school cafeteria lady spiked the kids, so basically the food at lunch tasted really weird, like super weird. It tasted like jizz. Don't ask me how I know that. Okay, Okay, I'm not gonna ask you how you know that. So I reported it to the principal, and at first they suspected the food suppliers, but it was actually some stuff put into the food. It turns out one of the teachers paid the lady to put stuff into the food so that the students would be silenced and so that she wouldn't have to teach a noisy class anymore. In the end, she and the cafeteria lady got arrested and 4 students died. So yeah, anyways, rest in peace to Aaron, Savannah, Zyra, and Yui. What? That was an actual thing? Your school cafeteria lady unalived 4 students? Well, I guess the teacher achieved her goal. Like, the students were silenced forever by killing the students. So now she won't have to teach a noisy class. Yes, she won't have to teach any class because her 4 students died. That is definitely a way to silence your noisy class. Although, yeah, it's definitely a little bit illegal. I think your teacher needs some help. There is definitely something wrong with her. Like, no, like, what is the thought process behind that? When I was 8 years old, I failed at science class, like grade was below 70. And I remember that one time when I begged my teacher to bring my grades up. I begged like, please sir, I'll do anything. My teacher then smirked at me and he said, you want better grades? I'll give you better grades, but you have to meet me in the bathroom tomorrow. I nodded. After some time, when I went to the bathroom, we kinda made out. And after that, I got 90+ grades and I didn't fail. Yay, it was worth it. Is that even legal? And you said it was worth it as well? How can it be possibly worth it? Even if you got 90+ grades, is that it? Were you really willing to do anything for 90+ grades? It's just a number. Your grade is just a number. Your grade doesn't matter in real life, I don't think. Probably not. Actually, like, maybe it does. This one is very concerning. This one, I think you need help. You actually need some help. So there's this one girl from my old school, let's call her Ryu. Ryu was a total a-hole and made fun of my dressing style, goth by the way. And one day I was in a group chat and right before I got kicked out for being a freak, I immediately screenshotted her number. I catfished her as someone her type, of course some ugly blonde server guy, and she couldn't stop talking about her dating the dude even though that wasn't mentioned. I ghosted her on that account and then put her second number on fake keys, copied and threw them around the park in town. And now whenever someone stumbles across the key, they spam call her thinking the key is hers and she lost it. Bro, that is a little bit messed up, bro. Like, I understand she made fun of your dressing style, like your goth dressing style, but that is actually annoying, bro. If someone did that to me, I would be so annoyed. Like, you have a bunch of fake keys, like with her phone number, and like all the good Samaritans are gonna be calling the number, thinking that they're doing the right thing and returning the key to its owner. But instead, it's just Ryu that just has no idea what is going on. Like someone you've basically doxed her. Or it's almost as bad as like signing up to a hub account using her phone number. I feel like that is I don't think it's calm. I think it's slightly questionable. It's a little bit messed up, honestly. When I was in 2nd grade, there was this girl in my class, let's call her A. She sat next to one of my friends in the classroom, so we were just learning about math or something until the teacher turns around and asks X what her and my friend were doing because they were a little loud, I guess. But then X says the following, oh, he was just showing his dingling, and then the whole class turned around to look at them. Not only was he letting her see his dingling, but he also let her touch it. X left the school after the school year ended, and we never saw her again. Maybe for the better, to be honest. Honestly, probably, yeah, most likely for the better. You could have been diddled. You actually could have been diddled that year. I'm glad X was forced to leave the school and like just got out of there. I think this one, yeah, they definitely need some help. I think X needs some help. X actually got out. She literally got out of the school. Bro, I swear my school is like a fever dream. So last week in chem class, we were doing one of those boring experiments with beakers and Bunsen burners, and this one dude decided it would be funny to dump an entire pack of Mentos into a Coke bottle he smuggled in. The thing legit exploded, splashed all over the teacher's desk, and set off the fire alarm because the steam mixed with a Bunsen burner. While everyone was panicking, one of the girls in the back thought it was a real fire and started crying, and our teacher tripped over the sink hose trying to calm her down and literally fell flat on his face. And instead of helping him, everyone just pulled out their phones and started recording like it was a TikTok live. The craziest part, the principal came running in all dramatic like he was about to save the day and slipped on the soda puddle and ripped his pants right in front of the whole class. Man was just laying there on the floor with Coke stains all over him. Anyway, now we're banned from bringing any carbonated beverages to school, and they literally have a teacher standing by the vending machines during lunch like it's some high security prison. Bro, what in the Looney Tunes is your school? This is beyond a fever dream. This is a episode of Looney Tunes. Is this what every school in America is? Because first of all, why would your friend think it's a good idea to smuggle Mentos and Coke into the classroom and set it off during the class? Like, I feel like everyone knows what happens if you put Mentos into Coke. And second of all, Gen Z and Gen Alpha are absolutely cooked. Instead of helping your teacher get up, they start filming it and like posting it on TikTok. That is messed up. And what sort of goofy art principal do you have? He comes running in like a Superman trying to save the day, and he just slips over, splits his pants as well. That is straight out of a Looney Tunes episode. I think this is honestly, it's slightly questionable. It's a bit of a Looney Tunes episode. We had a mystery pooper who would take a poo in a corner somewhere in the hall before school started for months. It got to the point where we were having assemblies about it, and when we got there in the morning, no one was allowed in the school before 8. We would have hundreds of kids in the lobby waiting with a defensive line of teachers blocking us, but it still kept happening. It turns out it was a special ed kid, and they were allowing them to go to class before 8 still. What? You had a mystery pooper? A special ed kid? Is this, bro? You had a special ed kid pooing in the hallway in the corner every day before school? I don't think my school had any special ed, like, students there, but, bro, how, like, I don't understand. Why would anyone think it's a good idea to just poo in, like, the corner of school? Like, this entire time, the kid knew. The kid knew it was him. Like, the whole school was having assemblies about, like, the mystery pooper. Meanwhile, this kid is just, like, sitting in the back, just, like, pretending he just knows nothing about it. Bro, he was doing it the entire time. And they still allowed him to go to class before 8 and still poo in the corner? Did they not think that perhaps the only person capable of doing this would be the only students that let into school before 8? Like, if the poo keeps appearing in the corner of the hall and the only people you're allowing into school before 8 are the special ed kids, do you not think perhaps it could be one of the special ed students? But honestly, just so that I don't get cancelled, I'm gonna consider this a calm confession, okay? There's nothing wrong with this. Once this girl had a crush on me, and before I could reciprocate the feeling, she got with my best friend. Not long after, they started clowning me and bullying me, and so I decided to take revenge. I left a torch in their backyard, and soon my mom was watching the news, and it was reported that 2 houses in our neighborhood caught fire. My best friend's dad died. Whoa. Okay. That is a little bit dark. So because this girl gets with your best friend, you decide to unalive your best friend's dad? What did the dad do? The only thing he did was birth your best friend. But still, does your mom even know that it was you that did this? Like, are you gonna own up to it? Because this is a bit of a criminal offense. I feel like if they ever, linked it back to you, you could get done for, like, manslaughter, honestly. And also arson as well while you're at it. So yeah, this is definitely, you definitely need a little bit of help. I hope, I don't even know what to say. Like, what am I meant to say? I hope you, I don't know, eventually confess to your crime and, like, receive the appropriate punishment. I was playing football with my friends, then they don't pass the ball to me. I get so mad, so I grabbed dog poop and started to throw it at them. It's the freeze poop, not the wet. Bro, Are you okay? It's the free. What do you mean by it's the freeze poop? Do you live in a country where it's like it gets so cold overnight that the dog poo on the ground literally freezes as hard as rocks? So your first thought when your friends don't pass the ball to you is to throw frozen dog poo at them? Why is this your first thought? It's pretty normal for people not to pass the ball to you. Like you're not the main character. They don't always have to pass the ball to you. Like if you're not in a good position, they don't have to pass the ball to you. I think the solution is that you have to run into like a better position, like a more open position, and then they'll throw the ball to you. But instead, you decide to play your own game of football, but instead of a ball, it's just frozen dog poop. This is slightly questionable. This is not normal. This is you need to reconsider your actions. I'm still traumatized from what I saw in high school in May of 2023. So on that day, I don't remember why, but I was feeling dizzy and felt like throwing up. So I headed to the nearest bathrooms where in my dizziness and confusions, I accidentally pushed open the doors to the girls' bathroom and I saw someone digging through the trash and gluing used tampons to the mirror. And yes, those bathrooms were near the special ed section, so that might explain things. Okay. I mean, okay, gluing tampons to the mirror. I mean, maybe it was just a maintenance man doing some decoration. It wasn't necessarily a special ed student. It could have just been the janitor doing some like, I don't know, renovations in the girls' bathroom. Bro, imagine how that would have looked. Like a bunch of bloody used tampons glued to the mirror, like permanently glued to the mirror. And the fact that you remember the month and the year this occurred in, okay, yeah, I think this person was definitely a little bit traumatized from this. I think this is slightly questionable from it wasn't necessarily the special ed student, but whoever did it, it was very slightly questionable.